I'm back with another Days at My Desk video this week, which I'm really excited about. If my voice sounds a little different, it's because I'm still getting over my cold. I got really sick last week and it's still lingering, but wow, I haven't been that sick in a really long time. So that was pretty brutal, but I finally feel well enough to speak on camera again without having a coughing fit. So the first thing I wanted to do was a Days at My Desk because I just feel like it's been so long since I caught up with you. I don't know why. Last week was the first week where I didn't upload a video on my channel since starting this channel. So that felt really weird for me, honestly. I felt, I don't know, like something was wrong. And I need to be better about taking time off when I need it. Thank you for those of you who commented on my community post where I mentioned I was sick and needed to take a week off. Thank you so much to those of you who sent me well wishes and told me to rest. Finally feeling a little better, so I'm excited. Speaking of my community posts, I recently posted about reaching 5,000 subscribers, which is so surreal to me. I can't even express in words how much that means to me and just how mind-blowing that is. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I'm so thankful that you're here, and I hope to keep sharing videos with you all that you enjoy watching and that you find value in. And I'm just so grateful for this community that we've created. But in that post, I mentioned that I'd love to film a Q&A soon and to add any questions that you might have for me in that thread. So if you do have any questions for me, please add it to that community post or directly in this video's comments. I'll be looking out for questions on this video as well. And it can be about anything. It can be about me, about my journey on YouTube, any random questions you have really, about my autism journey, anything. A lot of people voted on that post that they would really like to see a Q&A video from me, but then I didn't get many questions on there. So if you do want to see a Q&A video from me and get to know me a little better, please share your questions with me. Okay, that's everything I wanted to start with. Thank you again, and I'm excited to bring you along with me this week at my desk. Today is Monday morning before work. Lately, I've mentioned this a few times, but lately I've been experiencing a lot of work anxiety before the work week starts. My job has become really stressful and demanding, and it takes a toll on me mentally. So I really rely on my journal to articulate how I'm feeling. And even if I don't necessarily have a solution for how I feel, it just helps to write it out. It helps me process the feeling. It helps me to identify what I'm feeling, and often that's enough for me to feel a little bit of relief. So I wanted to start this morning by journaling, and I thought I could bring you along. This is from this weekend. Okay, so today is technically the 19th, but I already wrote on that page, so I'm just going to be writing in the 20th. And something I like to do from time to time is use this frame stamp to indicate when I'm writing on a page that isn't the actual current date. So I brought out my little Kuru Kinki frame stamp. And these are the ink pads that I currently own. I have two of these Shachihara ink pads. I believe the colors are Kuchiba and Fuji, I think. But it's their Decayed Leaf and Wisteria Purple colors. And then I also have this Versa Magic, just a black ink pad. I like that these are all really small and portable, and they work great. I will say the Shachihara ink pads do sometimes bleed through the hobonichi cousin, and there's really strong ghosting on these. So I use them sparingly, but I just think these colors are so beautiful that I still like to use them. And then the Versa Magic, it doesn't bleed through at all. So this one's really nice in the Hobonichi Cousin. As for what I want to journal about today, I have a few pictures printed out from Pinterest, as usual. And this is kind of my starting point for a journaling spread. I first look through whatever pictures I have sourced from Pinterest, and I see if any of them kind of resonate with me for the day or are relevant to how I'm feeling that day. I think this is a good starting point. I know I want to go for a darker vibe. This one is very, very relevant to how I'm feeling lately about work. It just says you're gonna figure it out like you always have. And that's the truth. And that's probably the case for many of you as well. We all go through periods that feel really challenging, but we are resilient beings. We're much stronger than we think, and we do always figure it out. So I want that to be a nice reminder today as I go into this week. I also liked this one. In really small writing, it says the weight of something, and that's what I've been feeling, just a heavy weight. So I think I want to stick with these two, and then maybe add in some washi or some deco. These were some really nice little washi tapes and stickers that Alison sent me. I love these so much, these little samples. They're so beautiful and they're so easy to incorporate in different spreads. Alison, if you're watching, could you please let me know where you got these, like what brand this is? Because I absolutely love these. They add the most beautiful accents to my pages, and you can see I've already used quite a few of them. And then she also sent me these pet tapes, and these just go with everything, I feel. I like these two. And then I also have these two grid washi tapes that I love. So that could go really well. I have a couple of other washi tapes. So I have all of the elements that I'm going to use to assemble this spread. And this is not always how involved it is to make my spreads. Like I don't often bring out all my stickers and washi tape and stamps. Most of the time I probably don't do this. I usually just find an image that goes with how I'm feeling or a sticker and I just write. But on some days where I need that extra bit of cheering up and inspiration, I like to bring out all of these decorative elements because it just makes me happy. It's fun. So let's see. I'm gonna use the black ink on this today. And I like how it kind of has that faded look when I use the black ink. And then I have my date stamp here. So today is the 19th. So making sure it has the right date. That did not print very well, but it's okay. Okay, so I'll have to place this one down first. And I'm just gonna cut off the edges a little bit more so that I can write easily. And then I just find it so much easier to peel these with tweezers. And I've been really liking placing images in the middle of the page. I just feel like it helps tie together both spreads, but I know this is gonna bulk up my book way faster. Just ran out of tape. And I'm just using the Scotch wrinkle-free glue stick. I really like those. Okay, that's a good starting point. And now I'm just gonna journal. And for that, I'll use my TWSBI Eco. I've been alternating still between this and the Bennu Talisman. Right now I have this inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi, which is one of the samples that Alison gave me. I love this color so much. It is stunning. And I'm so thankful that it writes well in my cousin. It's not bleeding through so far, fingers crossed. It's not really feathering. There's a couple areas where it does, but overall it's writing pretty well in here. That was therapeutic in some ways. In some ways, I still feel the same. But in others, I don't know, it's nice to write reminders to myself when I am kind of catastrophizing or in a more negative mind space. It forces me to zoom out and remember what matters at the end of the day, and just remember to approach each day with an open mind and with curiosity rather than going in with preconceived notions. So that's just kind of the reminder that I wrote to myself today, and let's see, hopefully it puts me in a slightly better mindset than I started the day with. So I know this probably isn't showing up really well on camera because it's filming a screen that's really bright, but hopefully you can get the gist of what I've designed here. Basically, a little over a year ago, I designed sticker sheets for myself. It was just for fun, really a creative outlet. And the reason I even designed these in the first place is I have always kind of been an artist at heart. Growing up, I was trained in painting. For several years, I did acrylic painting, and eventually that evolved into drawing and sketching, and in my teen years, all the way through college, I was always drawing something. In recent years, I completely stopped drawing, and drawing used to be such a big part of my life, honestly. It was a big part of my identity growing up. So when that completely went away and it stopped, I just got to a point where I wanted to get back into it. And there's no reason why I stopped drawing, really. I think it was just life got really busy when I graduated college and I was focused on, starting my career. And I also just formed other special interests that consumed my mind. And so I naturally grew out of this hobby, but in recent years, I really wanted to get back into it, and I found digital drawing as a great way of doing that. That's really what inspired me to start drawing stickers for myself, because I needed to incorporate it in a way that still really captured my interest, and journaling became my special interest. So drawing stickers for my journal was a lot of fun, and it became just a really nice creative outlet for myself. The other reason I did this was because I just couldn't find stickers in the aesthetic that I like. Most of the stickers out there are really bright and colorful or really cutesy. For my everyday use in my journal, this is the aesthetic that I like. I like it to be more minimal and muted. I don't know. I just really like this style. So I decided to just make it for myself, and I got these printed as physical stickers, and you've seen in many of my videos that I use my own stickers quite a bit. But recently I've been going back into my old designs and revamping them because I'd like to reprint these. So I updated all of them to have my new branding, Moonlit Journal, and I've just been updating the layouts and some of the actual stickers in here. So there used to be a teacup in this sheet that I erased completely. I didn't like how it looked, and I updated it with this alarm clock today, as you saw. And I've just been going into my sheets and doing that. So this is the other sheet I designed, and I updated this one as well recently. This is a new sticker that I added, and it's been fun. I'm much happier with these now that I've updated them. And I actually recently created an entirely new sticker sheet as well, which is this one. And this one was a lot of fun because it's completely journaling themed, as you can see. So yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun with these. It's a really nice way for me to be creative and incorporate drawing in my life in a much more, manageable way. In a way, like drawing digitally is much easier than drawing like pencil on paper or pen on paper, and there's a lot more flexibility that comes with it. Now, recently, I've been thinking about printing these out and potentially launching like an Etsy shop or some kind of online store to make these available for anyone to purchase. I'm still thinking about it, and it would require a lot of work on my end, but I would love to hear from you in the comments if that is something you would like me to do, I guess. I wouldn't expect to make any money out of it. It really would just fund itself. So any money I make from selling the stickers would likely go back into the production and shipping costs, and there's just a lot of upfront costs that go into creating your own shop. So I wouldn't really be doing it for profit. Honestly, it would just be a passion project if I did it, and it would fund itself, hopefully. I'm very aware that I have a very small audience on the internet, and I probably wouldn't have a lot of customers if I launched my own shop, but that's why I'm seeing it more as a passion project. And so I'd love to know from you if you would like me to make these available for purchase, and if so, I would consider it. I think regardless, I would want to get these printed out again so that I could use them in my notebooks selfishly and maybe share them with friends. But yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts, because I know I want to continue making these and creating new designs and new themes. And I have so many ideas already. It is Thursday morning and I have some time before my meetings. So I was just gonna sit down and finally write a letter back to my friend Elle, which some of you may know from the Common Corner. It has been such a joy becoming pen pals with her. And she mentioned in one of her recent videos that pen paling has kind of become a hobby for her, and I can completely see why. It is an act, a practice in itself that I feel is distinct from any other thing that I've really done before. But I want to continue this practice, even if it is just with one or two people at a time. I think I might find it overwhelming beyond that, to be honest. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm probably going to write a long letter to my friend and see what little stationery bits I can include in that. She gave me the most thoughtful letter, I want to say a little over a month ago, and I just haven't had the time to respond yet, unfortunately, but I'm finally getting to it. But what I love about pen paling is there is no pressure. You share whatever you want to share, at your own time and pace. And if there's something that you come across that reminds you of that other person, then you share it with them. And I find that so beautiful. But I like that there are no obligations and rules, really. But I wanted to share this artwork that Elle gave me in her letter to me. I just thought it was so beautiful. She mentioned that it reminded her of me because it's quite ethereal and in her mind, she's picturing that the moon is sitting within the clouds. So I thought that was really thoughtful. I wanted to have this by my side as I wrote back to her. We are back with my ink swatching notebook, which is still in my beloved Olive Traveler's notebook that I got customized with Baumkuchen for anyone who's new. I love this notebook so much, but currently it mainly houses my ink swatching book. And for this, I use a Good Impressions insert, which I believe has 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. It holds up really well to fountain pen ink. Yeah, it's kind of the perfect paper for fountain pens. So this has been working really well. I do want to eventually come up with a better way of cataloging the inks and ink samples that I have. Something a little more flexible, probably like a ring bound system, where I can really organize my samples by color or by brand and move things around really easily. Doing it in a bound book is fine, but I find it a little more difficult to find the inks that I'm looking for, and it's harder to organize. So for right now, I'm gonna continue to use this, but I am thinking about potentially, down the line, getting like a ring system, or like I know some people have books with clear inserts where you can just insert different ink samples. Anyway, today I have a ton of inks in this Delphonics pouch of mine. And basically recently, one of my viewers, Vera, sent me a ton of inks. Like, I was really not expecting it. And it was so generous of her. So thank you so much, Vera, if you're watching. This bag is stuffed to the brim with all of the ink samples that she sent me. And she also sent a few like full-sized bottles as well. And this was very surprising to me. Honestly, I was expecting like maybe 4 inks. And I got closer to maybe, I don't even know, 20, 30. I don't know, honestly. It's a lot, but it's very appreciated. As someone who is so new to fountain pen inks, it's really helpful for me to have different brands to try out, different tones and finishes, and really get a better sense of what it is that I like and don't like. There's a lot here to get through, and I need to start swatching these inks so that I know which ones kind of resonate with me and which ones I'd like to ink up my fountain pens with next. So that is everything that Vera sent me. I thought it would be fun to start swatching some of these with you. I do always love to have a little ink swatching segment in these Days at My Desk videos. I don't know, I really enjoy watching people swatch inks. Lately, I've really been loving Elle Nim's ink swatches. It's a channel here on YouTube. I will link them in the description box, but yeah, the Elle Nim ink swatches are top tier. I am very inspired by that, so I'm gonna try to do something similar in shape here. So let's just get right into it. I'm not familiar with most of these inks, so I'm just gonna blindly choose. And let's see how many we can get through today. Let's start with this one. Looks like it's a J. Herbin Carub de Chypre. I hope I definitely did not pronounce that correctly. This is the ink more close up. So let's see. Just by the tone of it, I feel like I'm gonna like this one. That's beautiful. Kind of reminds me of the ink I've been using right now in my Eco, which is the Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi that Alison gave me. I see some similarities. Yeah. And I'm using my Pilot Iro Utsushi dip pen in a medium nib. That is gorgeous. I love this color. And let me just get my TWSBI Eco to compare it to the Tsukushi ink. Yeah, they're very similar in tone, which is really exciting because Tsukushi is discontinued, and this is quickly becoming my favorite ink color that I've ever written with. So I am desperately on the hunt for similar colors or dupes possibly, because this doesn't exist anymore and I love it so much. So I'm really excited that this J. Arbonne ink is very, very similar. And that's what it looks like up close. Okay, next we have Teranishi Emotional Olive. What I've heard of Teranishi inks is that they are quite light, pale, I guess desaturated maybe is the right word. And that's not typically what I like to write with. I usually like high contrast inks, but I do feel like there's always occasions where I enjoy paler inks. You know, if it's like little accents here and there. But yeah, I can see this one is quite translucent. I'm just trying to build up some depth here. But I do love that green, that shade of green. Yeah, this writes very lightly. Again, beautiful shade of green, but not what I typically like to write with. There it is up close. Maybe we'll go with this one, this full-sized bottle here. This is Chrysanthemum from Birmingham Pen Co. I've never tried a Birmingham Pen Co. ink, so this is exciting. From the bottle, it looks like it might be like a pale lilac color. And I love purple. I love any shades of purple, so I'm sure I will love this one. Oh, immediately I can see a shift to this. Wow, that's beautiful. It's a pinky lilac, but I also see green. And actually, when I just see it on the pen, it's like a dark green color. That's so interesting. I feel like in writing, it's coming across more like a pastel lavender pink, which hopefully you can see that well. Both of these colors are very spring. Okay, let's try this one, Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua. I think this is one of the shimmer inks, so I'm just gonna shake it. Looks like a red. I actually can't tell if this is a shimmer ink. I love these kind of brick red tones to write with. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it goes with my aesthetic really well. It writes a little paler than I expected. And in writing, it kind of comes across more as a pink, honestly. So I think the name Rose Gold is fitting, although I don't see any shimmer in it, so maybe not. It's more like a mauvey pink, I feel. Also very spring. Okay, this was another one I was really interested in seeing. This is Diamine Weeping Willow, and I've seen swatches of this ink, and I think it's beautiful, but I'm really curious to see what it looks like in person. Oh, this is very pale, very, very translucent. It's like a very murky, muted, beigey green. I'm sure it's gonna write very, very lightly. My handwriting is not looking good today. Very interesting color. It kind of reminds me of like the Lennon Toolbar Sesame Oil. I haven't seen that one in person, but from whatever swatches I've seen, it gives me that same vibe. A very pale beige color. I think it's quite beautiful. It's very interesting color. Next, I wanted to do Robert Oster Cherry Blossom. I've been really interested in pink inks lately. I just think pink provides such a nice contrast with black, and so much of my decoration in my journals is black usually, so I like the idea of, oh my goodness, this is getting messy. I like the idea of a pink ink to contrast with black. This one feels quite dry. It's not really swatching as easily as the other ones. Next we have Monteverde Canyon Rust. This is another one that I really was interested in because it's a warm toned brown from what I could tell. And I love writing with brown as well. Very saturated. I've noticed the Monteverde inks are very, very saturated usually. Every single one that I've tried is intense, but I like that. It provides a nice contrast. The only thing is, I don't know how well it would play with my hobonichi cousin, because as we all know, the paper has been very finicky this year, and I've realized I can't use super wet or saturated inks in there. So I'll have to test this out and see, but I really love this color. Oh my gosh. This is exactly the kind of tone I enjoy writing with. I think that's beautiful. And then now we have Dominant Industry in Maple. I think this is like more of a orangey red color. Wow, that's so bright, but I really like it. It has that same like translucency that I see in some of the other inks. And usually if an ink is more translucent like this, I've noticed I don't enjoy long form writing with it. That's actually quite nice. Okay, what should we do next? There's Troublemaker Purple Yam. Let's try that. This feels really dry, like it's just drying immediately on the page, I'm noticing. And actually, I haven't heard of this brand before, Troublemaker. It's an interesting color. It's definitely more of like a blue-purple mix. Very saturated, very deep. Okay, I think we have space for one more. How do I decide? Maybe this one. This is a TWSBI ink. And it's called Prairie Green. Ooh, that looks bright. That is so bright. Wow. Actually, as soon as I saw it, it reminded me of Shigo from Kim Possible. Let me know if you agree or even know what I'm talking about. I love Shigo. Wow, this is so bright. Okay, TWSBI. The color on its own is cool. Like, I like it. It's just, I would probably never use this, but who knows? maybe I will have a need for it someday. Okay, we got through quite a few. Let's see, 10 inks. I feel like there's still 10 more that I didn't get through. So maybe I'll do that in the next days at my desk. There's a couple of inks in here that I definitely am excited to write with. I think J. Herbon Carub de Chypre. This ink, the very first one, is gorgeous, and it's exactly the type of tone that I like to write with. So I'm really excited to have that. I surprisingly really like this Birmingham Penco chrysanthemum. Now that it's dried, it definitely looks more like a lilac color. I do love lilac and lavender and those tones. So I think it would be nice as like little accents on my pages. Maybe not a full entry, but if I want to add like little notes here and there, I could see myself using this color. I also love Monteverde Canyon Rust. This is a beautiful color. And surprisingly, this one too, Dominant Industry Maple. But I will say this one kind of has a salmon tone to it. And I'm not a big fan of that. I think if it leaned a little more of like a true red, I would enjoy this more. But it is still beautiful. Both of these Robert Oster tones, Rose Gold, Antiqua, and Cherry Blossom, they look really similar, actually. Very, very similar, especially in writing. So that's interesting. These two definitely are favorites, and I will be writing with them probably very soon once I use up my Tsukushi. Let me know what you think of these inks. Have you tried any of them? Do you enjoy writing with any of these? I'm super curious, and I will probably swatch the rest of these inks that Vera gifted me in a future days at my desk if you're interested in that. I recently got myself a Canon Ivy. I know I mentioned in a couple videos that I've really been wanting the Canon Selfie Square because I've heard great things about that photo printer. But I looked at the price and I compared it to the Ivy, and the Ivy is just like half the price almost. I mean, it's much cheaper, but I've seen so many mixed reviews on this printer, and honestly, I have mixed feelings about it. I've only used it twice now. I wanted to journal about the sticker sheets that I'm working on, and so I used it today to print out little pictures of my sheets, and it's hard to tell on camera probably, but in person, the quality is awful. And I understand, maybe it's because these are so small and the drawings within them are so small. But yeah, the colors are all off. It looks really pixelated to me. So I don't know. I have used it on one other occasion in here, which I'll show you. I'm gonna need to cover something. Okay, so this is the other one I printed down here. I'll just zoom you in. But yeah, I mean, it looks fine when it's like a landscape of something because it almost gives it this, I don't know, Polaroid quality to it. But I do agree with a lot of the reviews that it leans really blue, like very cool toned. Before printing this picture, I also edited it in the Ivy app to make it more yellow toned. Like I added in a lot of yellow so that when it printed, it would print out normal, because that's what I've seen was like the advice of other people who own this, but it still came out really cool toned. So, and I don't know if that's just because the picture itself has a lot of blue in it. So I'm gonna continue testing it out. I have, I think like 3 more weeks before I can return it. So I want to try it out with a few other pictures, different types of pictures, and we shall see. But I also feel like for a journal, it kind of it's good enough. I don't think I need like really amazing quality pictures in here. I mean, up till now, I've been just printing at FedEx for all of my pictures, and it's not like that's the best quality either. So I don't know, maybe I'm just going to keep it and use it as is. I wanted to get your thoughts. Have you used the Canon Ivy? Do you currently own one? I'm really interested in how this compares to the Canon Selfie Square because I'm still undecided on this. But I do like how convenient it is. It's so portable. I'm going to be traveling next month and I wanted to be able to take a portable printer with me so that I can print on the spot and continue journaling every day. But yeah, mixed feelings. And actually, I think that brings us to the end of this video. I was looking back at the footage from this week and it's already quite long, so I think I should wrap it up. But I had a lot of fun this week. I feel like we got up to a lot of different things. Thank you, as always, for giving me company. Before going, just a little reminder to please share your questions with me so that I can make a Q&A video. I think if I don't get enough questions, I might have to put it off to a future date so that I can compile a few more questions for it. But if you have been curious to ask me anything, please share in the comments below and I'll be looking at the video comments. I would just love for you to get to know me a little better. I know this community has grown so much so quickly in the past few months, and I want you to feel like you know who you're spending time with week over week. So let me know if anything else came to mind as you were watching this. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.